Hi, Angie here from Crafts at Home. Welcome back to this video series where I'm going to be featuring the art of quilting from Shape Artworks. Hopefully you'll have completed up to issue 27 and have everything stored flat ready for joining later. With this issue we'll be making the windmill square block and you'll be receiving the daisy, royal blue, white on white spot and blossom fabrics. Before you begin, iron all of your fabric so it's nice and flat. It will make it easier to work with and improve the overall finish of your quilt. Let's start marking and cutting. So I've now done all the marking for my 4 fabrics and I'm just going to start cutting them. So if I start work on the white on white spot, I use my small ruler. As usual, just line up the side of the ruler with your markings and cut. So just keep on going for all of the lines that you've done, taking notes of the excess corners that need to be trimmed off. So when you got to that, you can line up those edges just so you can trim them off in one go. And then do the same with these two. So you've got a nice straight line to trim off. And there we go. So I'm now going to carry on and do the rest of the fabrics and I'll see you back here soon. So now I've got all the pieces cut, I've laid them out in front of me as the finished block will be. The first step you want to do is to take your white on white spot and turn it over onto your blossom, taking note of which corner you turned over. So we want to pin along this side here, just match your edges up and pop a couple of pins through. And then set it to the side. So we're going to do these for all 4 pairs of white on white spot and blossom. So it's just a case of making sure that everything's lined up nicely. And making sure with each one you pin the same side. And then again. So that's my 3rd set. I'm just going to do the final set here. This is a really nice easy block compared to the last couple that we've had with the inset seams. It's nice just to get a simple straight lined block again. And there we go. Right, I'll see you over at the sewing machine in a moment where we're going to be chain piecing these together. So I've got all 4 of my triangles now ready to sew along this edge. So we want a 1/4 inch or a 6mm seam allowance. So I'm just going to offer that up to the base plate and then then start sewing. I have got a 1/4 inch mark on my sewing machine, but if you don't, then you just need to measure from your needle out, and you can put a little bit of masking tape on. Take that second pin out before it hits the needle, and then go on with the next. Good tip if you don't want to stop while you're pulling your second needle out. If you just have it so you hold it, when it pulls the fabric through, sometimes, not always, but sometimes it will just hold the pin in place and pull out. I'll show you again here. It means I don't have to stop for that second pin. And bring my stitch saver back round. And there we are. So I'll just snip these apart and I'll see you over at the ironing board in a moment. So now I've sewn all 4 of the triangles together, then we're going to iron open. So I'm just going to set the seams to start with, and then iron open towards the white. So we're just opening them up nice and flat, all towards the white. So once you've ironed open all of your 4 triangles, we then need to add on the royal blue. So if you just pop it over the top, and we want to pin so the yellow actually attaches to the blue. So just match your edges up, and then we'll pin along the yellow blossom edge. Just be careful because you are still working with a bias edge, so you just want to make sure that everything is lying flat without being pulled. So I'll just pin this one together. Again, just make sure that all of your edges match up really nicely and neatly, and that you don't pull your fabric before putting your pin in. So there's 2 done. The reason I'm pinning so the yellow blossom is facing up is so when I come to do this corner here, I can make sure that the seam's lying flat. So I'll just pop that one on and then just pin the last one together. It's a lovely combination and contrast on this block with the 4 different colours, especially the royal blue against the red flower. I'll pop this final pin in and there we go. So I'm just going to pop and sew these 4 together. So once you've got them all sewn, you'll have them looking like this. So I'm now just going to iron them open. Just press the seam first and then iron open towards the royal blue. Just make sure all your edges are nice and sharp. There we go. Now we've got that done, we can start to bring in the remaining fabric. So just lay these down on top of what you've already done, face down. Then we can start to pin them together. So I'm turning it over this way so I've got all my seams up on top, so I can make sure that everything is matched perfectly and the seams stay nice and flat. So I'm just going to pin all of these together. So we started off with the 2 small triangles which made into a medium triangle. Then your medium triangle is added to another one to make a large triangle. And now your 2 large triangles are going to make squares. Makes it a really interesting pattern, especially, as I said, with the colours that we've got in these, which will become more apparent in a few moments after I've sewn them together and ironed them open. So I'm just continuing to pin these together. And because we've got a bulk of seams there, you could either go to the one side, or as I'm going to go, an instep pin, just to make sure that everything's held really neatly together. So I'm going to do the same with this one, just line it up. And then another one in the end. And to do the final one, Again, an instep pin in the middle, and then just one at the end. So now these four need to be sewn along that long edge where you've just pinned. So once you've sewn them together, you'll get four pieces like this. So we just need to iron them open now. And we're going to iron open towards the triple colours. So we just gently make sure that everything's still lying flat as we're opening it up. We want to make sure that we've got nice sharp points down at this centre point here, as it means we've got our seams really nice and spot on. So I'm just gently ironing these open now. There we go. And that's a nice sharp seam. And then this final one. And all of my seams are really nice and on point. So now it's time to put our block together and start sewing it into stages. So if you put all four pieces so that the red daisy is on the outside, and then you get your nice whirlwind effect in the middle. So pick two to start with that you want to sew together. So I'm going to go side to side. Just put your triangles together. You've got a nesting seam here in the middle that you can add everything up to. So I'm going to nest that and then pin. And then work to the other edge. Now the other edge will have a seam that is opposite to nesting, so they both lie on top of each other. Just match up as tight as you can before popping a pin through. I'm going to do the same with this one. So I'm going to go to this centre point first and make sure my nesting seam there is lying nicely. And I'm going to go to the other end where they're both again lying in the same direction and match up as tightly as possible. So with these two now, we just want to do one seam down each side. So I've now gone and sewn these two. We're just going to set these nice and flat. And then we actually need to iron these open and flat. So if you start from what will be the centre, so the blue, the blossom and the white edge, it just makes it a little bit easier then to go in at that edge. And just make sure that everything's lying nice and flat before we continue to the next step. So I'll just do the same with this one. So I'll just tease open the ends before popping the point of the iron down. Just turn it round and reinforce that corner. Right. So then we want to place our blocks back as we had it before. And then we just need to finish off by doing this centre. So our middle block now is lying flat, so we just want to make sure that we've got that at a perfect point, and I'm going to pin either side. Just to make sure that everything doesn't move, I'm going to keep it pinched before popping a pin in the other side. And then I'm going to pin at the ends just to make sure that everything's secure. First of all, I'm going to do that side and then this side, making sure I've got everything matched up and straight. There we go. So I'm going to go and sew this final seam, and I'll be back in a moment. So once you've finished doing your final sewing, you should end up with a block that looks like this. We're just going to iron it open. Remove that first. So the first thing you want to do, as usual, is set your seam in the centre. And then, like we did with the last seams, we're going to iron them open and flat. So just have your block nice and taut and tease your edge open before using the toe of the iron just to go through. I'm going to stop and steam there and then go from the other side. So again, make sure you've got your block nice and taut, and then pull your seams open, and then we'll go in with the toe, making sure that everything smooths down. You might need to give it a bit of a wiggle every now and again just to make sure that you keep all other seams flat. And there we are. With this one, I've managed to keep some nice tight corners there. My ends here match up quite well, and I got some nice sharp corners right in the middle. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video and the windmill square block that we've created. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you'll be notified of our new videos. Further information about Crafts at Home, the Crafts at Home forum, the art of quilting and Hache Artworks can be found in the social media pages which are listed in the description. Don't forget to join us next week for issue 29, where we'll be making the 9-patch block. Bye for now.